Hey everyone, it's Megan with ClubRubyDesigners.com. Thanks for joining me for another video. I have a thankful layout that I'm ready to do of my daughter Genevieve. And I have everything kind of prepped for you guys. I have two photos that are cut at 4 inches square. So they were full-size photos that I just cropped down using my paper trimmer. And then I also have a 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 inch square of this brown cardstock that was included. This pattern paper is 10 inches by 10 inches square, and I did my little Megan saver trick here, and I just used my paper trimmer and I cut out the interior square so that I could use it for photo matting, and I have some other brown pieces that I want to use for other things. So those are ready for me and I didn't waste any paper. So I can now tack this down on the outer edges, and that's all I need to do, and I didn't waste any paper. So it's really good tip and trick, and if you guys have been following long enough, which I know many of you have been, you have seen me do this many, many times. So just for those of you who haven't, all that you need to do is take your paper trimmer and start somewhere in the middle. If you know your paper is 10 by 10 on the outside, you want to leave, you want to start at like the 9-inch mark so you have a good inch for adhesive and other things. So that's how you do that. You just go all the way around the square. Set this down, and then I'm just going to kind of center this on here. Now a couple things you can do, I like to do, is you could do some faux stitching with like a white gel pen to give a really good completed look around the edges from the brown to the yellow. But I actually really like the really bold contrast of this orangey yellow and this dark chocolate brown. So I'm not going to do anything to this right now. I may add just a little bit of a touch later, but I'm going to leave this really go and let this pop and stand out on its own. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my brown square that I cut to 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, and what you can do is either photo mat. You could photo mat 1 or 2 of the photos just to give an extra pop and a contrast. But what I'm going to do is kind of place it off center a little bit and tilt it. And it's going to act as my photo matting for both of my photos. So it's just going to be kind of placed here. And then the other one can be off center or placed straight down there. So there's my kind of layout, and you can see how the eye is kind of drawn across there. So I'm going to just tack these down. I'm just going to do a couple quick little dabs of this Glue Glider Pro here. And we'll go right about here. And then the same thing on the photos. Just a couple quick little strips. We'll place it down. I'm going to go down a little lower. Down here. And of course I glued that corner. The wrong corner to glue down, Megan. It's okay. We'll just glue it like this. Okay. All right, so those are tacked down and in place. Now what I'm going to do is grab some of the yellow ribbon that was included in the kit. And I'm just going to kind of peel this up around the corner a little bit. I can kind of stick this in here actually and tape this right on down. Right down there. And then I'm going to do just a little bit of a pleat that goes underneath, just to give a little bit of texture to my layout. So I'm going to press down, fold, press down, fold, press down, fold, just like that. And I'm going to end it there. I'm going to cut it off. I'm going to tuck this underneath the photo. You can use a little more adhesive if you feel the need to. And I'm going to use adhesive on the rest of this ribbon here. So hold on one second. Place this down, and then we'll just place a little strip of your adhesive right on the underside of the ribbon. And this is why, that glue control is so important, because you can get it exactly where you need it to be in the exact amount you want, so you're not wasting. So that's really cute. Now, for the rest of the remaining bit of this yellow ribbon, I'm going to create a really cute little rosette. And I'm going to do that by starting in the center of the ribbon. So it doesn't matter how long your ribbon is. You just start in the center and you do kind of like a triangle fold there, and you just fold it over, back and forth. So you take each ribbon, each side, and you just go back and forth over top of each other. And this is really, I find really awesome to do with thick ribbon. I like doing this with wide, you know, thickness of ribbon, but you can do it with pretty much any size. I wouldn't recommend going too tiny, you know, kind of anything smaller than a 1/4 inch. It's really difficult to work with, but this is a really cute technique. So you're going to see I'm making a ribbon rosette, and this is a really easy way to make this. Really easy way to do this. Okay, so you just keep going back and forth over and over and over again. You can go all the way to the end, or, you know, just as far as you feel you want the thickness to be here, because if you don't want a real big rosette, you're going to want to kind of stop. And I'm going to let this go because this is thick ribbon. Now what we're going to do is we're going to hold the ends tight and we're going to let it go. So you have this really cool looking little thing. Now this is a really cool thing to kind of glue on a page and let it be as itself if you tighten it. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold with my left hand right here at this fold, and I'm going to pull with my right. I'm going to pull this other loose ribbon with my right, and I'm just going to pull it all the way down through. Okay? And as you twist and you tighten this, you can see this created a really beautiful little ribbon rosette like this. So then, once you have your little ribbon rosette created, you can tie a little knot in it in the back. Now this isn't going to keep it in place, but it does help. You can't just do a knot, but doing a little knot helps for sure. Then you're going to want to glue it, or you're going to want to tack it with a pin. I'm going to cut angles. I'm going to leave some tail hanging. Just like this. Cut it in an angle. And then I'm going to use adhesive squares to keep this all together. These are extreme hold, so you're going to get really strong stickiness with this. You get some really cute extra 3-dimensional embellishment there. Okay, and then once that's done, I'm going to do thankful for your, and then I'm going to write the word Snuggles, because these pictures to me are all about how snuggly my little girl Genevieve is. And she's always snuggling Benson, and she snuggles me, and that's like her standard little like cuddle her head into you kind of move. And it's so cute because she does it to pretty much anybody that she's comfortable with and loves. She just gets all snuggly. And I'm very thankful for Genevieve's Snuggles. So that is what I'm going to write on here. I'm going to go from right to left. And I'm just going to use the letter stickers included, but you can cut these out with the Cricut if you want something that's a little bit more welded. You know, you could weld the letters together using your Gypsy or Design Studio or the Craft Room. I'm just going to keep it straightforward and use the kit. And I'm not really pressing them down yet. Thankful. I'm going to do Snuggles along the bottom, and I'm going to spell it out real quick here because I'm going to spell it backwards. I'm going to start with the S. I'm going to go backwards across the page so that I can have it lined up and with enough room to go this way. And so spelling it out kind of helps you so that you're not trying to think and spell backwards in your head and spell it all wrong and, you know, all those other things. You don't have to think so much. That's what I'm all about. Not messing it up. I think that's one of the biggest frustrations that I've had along the way with scrapbooking is I'll finish a page and it's beautiful, and then I write something and I spell it wrong. And I think we all have some form or another of something spelled wrong in a scrapbook, whether it's from a journal note we wrote or a title and you're tired or whatever it is. And it's funny when that happens, but it's annoying too. So sometimes if you can deter some of that by writing it out first, then you don't have that issue. Okay. And there is my title for this page. So that was so easy to do. And then I can write a little note along the edges. I can write all along the outer edge, which is something that I think I'm going to do. I'm going to do my journaling note along this outer edge. I wasn't going to. I wanted that pop to kind of stand out, but now that I'm thinking about it, I want to tell a little bit more of a story on this page of what Genevieve Snuggles mean. So just with a white gel pen, I'm going to write my story around the outer edge. Okay, so with this layout, I did my journaling literally around the entire outer border just to tell a little story and add a little bit more character and dimension instead of doing just white stitch lines like I do so often. Just wrote real tiny in white letters my entire story about what Jenna's Snuggles mean to me. So I hope you guys were inspired by this video. I hope that you are finding things that you're thankful for and are loving this kit. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day and enjoy the moments. Bye-bye.